at my desk. I'm your host, Dr. William Lester, and this is a special episode, a follow-up to the previous episode, episode 4, of our conversation, our examination of Hammer horror. I got some really positive feedback, some positive comments on the YouTube channel and on Facebook, so I wanted to kind of trail back around and mention a few more titles. So, we referenced the Frankenstein series yesterday, and we mentioned the fact that Peter Cushing actually portrayed Dr. Frankenstein more times than he portrayed Van Helsing. And so, here are a few more titles from that series. The first one, 1957, Curse of Frankenstein, in which Christopher Lee actually plays the monster. So, if you look at what we have here, we have Christopher Lee playing Dracula, the Mummy in 1959, and the Frankenstein monster. All right. Another title in the series is Revenge of Frankenstein. Again, this is pretty easy to find out there. Now, this one is a little bit of a wild card, and you're probably going to have to do some homework to dig this one up. I don't know how much luck you'll have finding it out in the stores. Your best bet would be to track it down online. I do think it is available on the internet. It's called Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. And this is one of the lesser known titles in the series. And actually, this is a widescreen edition. That's another aspect I didn't talk about on the last episode. These films have been completely restored. And they have a gorgeous look to them. Wonderful, rich look. A lot of them have had the audio enhanced, sometimes even in 5.1. If you have a home theater, a home entertainment theater setup, you're really in for quite an experience. I run mine through a Kenwood amp and EQ and then out to my speaker system, so I get that really big, full, movie watching experience. One of the forgotten about parts of the Dracula series is actually a film here, Brides of Dracula. And the reason that one often gets kind of overlooked is because Christopher Lee's not in it. Peter Cushing does return to play Van Helsing. But at this particular time, which I think is 1961, Christopher Lee had another film commitment, and so he could not participate in this film. So they brought in actor David Peel to play the Baron Meinster, the vampire, who, according to the storyline, is a disciple of Dracula. When the movie opens, the narrator makes a point to say that Dracula is dead, but his progeny still lurk around and haunt the Transylvanian countryside. Very good film, Brides of Dracula. Next is a film that a lot of people don't even realize is a Hammer film, and that is 1,000,000 Years BC, of course, with the iconic Raquel Welch and her signature bear skins, and featuring dinosaurs with the stop-motion special effect technique by Ray Harryhausen, which was the prevailing fantasy and sci-fi special effect method before the rise of CGI. And it's really sad, I think, that CGI has made stop-motion obsolete, because stop-motion really added to that quality of fantasy. When you're looking at a CGI monster, if you look at, for example, like Jurassic Park, you look at those dinosaurs, and if you didn't know better, you would say these are real dinosaurs. And that's okay, but it lacks that fantasy quality. And so when you see the Allosaurus in 1 million years BC, or the giant sea turtle, or the pterodactyl, you know, they have that stop motion texture to them, and it just, I think, enhances the fantasy aspect of the film. Next is another one of these packages with two films, and these are definitely not for the kids. This is for when you pack the kids off to bed. They feature Ingrid Pitt, who is probably Hammer Films' biggest sex symbol. The films are Countess Dracula and The Vampire Lovers. So I'll tell you right now, they're edgy, and there's plenty of flesh to be seen in these films. Peter Cushing is in The Vampire Lovers, not as Van Helsing, but in a major role, as he should be. And of course, Countess Dracula is kind of a retelling of Elizabeth Bathory, I think is the name, who maintains her youthful appearance through anointing herself in the blood of young girls. So there are some graphic moments, some tense moments, but these are the big boy films in the Hammer library. Last one is my wild card, my dark horse, my Hammer horror dark horse. It's called The Blood Beast Terror, and one of the lesser known titles, starring Peter Cushing as a detective. And here's what's interesting about this film. It's made in 1967, and the monster in this film bears a remarkable resemblance to what was reported as the Mothman. And keep in mind, that's also 1967, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And the creature in this film is a winged humanoid creature that feeds on its victims through a proboscis. Coincidence? I don't think so. But it is my dark horse selection, and it's one that you absolutely have to have if you want to make the claim that you have a serious, legitimate Hammer horror film collection. The Blood Beast Terror. It is out there online, so track this one down. So there you go. That kind of rounds out our examination of Hammer horror. Now, you know, yes, there are lots of other titles, and like I said, we can do 3 or 4 or 5 episodes on Hammer horror alone. But October is on its way, and I thought this was a great way to usher it in. And so I hope that you are able to see some of these films and enjoy them as much as I have over the years. So until next time, I'm Dr. William Lester. I look forward to seeing you here again at my desk. Thank you.